Hey guys, welcome to another video, Purple Political Talk here, and today we're going to be looking at the presidential race in the state of Florida. Recent polls have come out, Biden ahead by 6, others have them even, so we're going to take a look at this race, what is going on, and discuss many of the different things that could be going on in the state of Florida. So before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, so you guys can get notified when I post my next video, so let's get started. So, at this point, the current average in the state of Florida has Joe Biden ahead by 5.2%. This is one of the larger margins that Biden's been ahead in the state of Florida. Before the pandemic, very tight race, maybe 1 or 1.5%. There was a point, especially during mid-March to early April. Early days of the pandemic, Donald Trump was going up in the polls a little bit. Then, the first kind of big pandemic fallout came out, and we saw Donald Trump lose a lot of his support there. And essentially, you have a lot of different events. Then you had Black Lives Matter, which did it for Trump, like in many other places, which brought him down to one of his national low points of 7.4%. And essentially, Donald Trump started to recuperate a little bit. He did have a dip here in July 23rd. But now, the race has been narrowly going up a little bit, and it went from being plus 7 for Biden to plus 5.3, which shows that Trump is gaining support in the polls. When looking at recent polling, the recent polls we have Biden plus nothing. Trump is tied with Biden in this On Message Inc. poll. Change Research, we don't really have too many good polls from here. I would say Mason-Dixon is one of the better ones, but again, we're mid-August, which means late July polls are somewhat outdated. August 12th, Biden plus 6 Change Research, even by Zogby Analytics, which shows that Biden actually does have some support in Florida. However, I think by all means, I think it's a little exaggerated. You can see here that we haven't had too many latest polls. But right now, I would say that the Trump campaign is gaining support. We can see that through this map. They are almost at the same margin of loss as they were here, early June, which was the earliest fallout when it came to Black Lives Matter, which really hurt the Democratic Party in more ways than one. Or the Republican Party in more ways than one. So we're going to see how that recuperates. But now, I want to see specifically what the experts think. So this is a JSK forecast. I use this a lot. And honestly, it shows a couple of good statistics. First of all, the chances of victory at this point in Florida are 74.8% for Joe Biden. And they're only 25.2% for Donald Trump. And this is not great for the Trump campaign. However, it's a higher chance. At this point, if I'm correct, Florida has a large chance of going to Biden than Texas going to Trump. But it actually makes sense. So this is the current projected vote. So this is what it tells us. In a best case scenario for Biden, Joe Biden would get this much vote, and Donald Trump would only get that. In a best case scenario for Trump would get this much vote, Biden only that much. So this is a very cool graph to look at. And right now, since we see that there's not much overgapping between the two squares, that means the election is kind of leaning towards Biden, but not by much. And this is the graph again. We're gonna see this pretty much similar events. We saw mid-pandemic Donald Trump was doing good. Then came kind of the first pandemic bombshells. After that, everything came crumbling down after the Black Lives Matter movement. And we see he went down from like a 33% chance to the next day having 29%. And then steadily went down to whereas now he gained a lot in the last 2 or 3 days. He went from almost 20% to almost 25%, which again is good when it comes to percent chances. And that shows that the Trump administration has been able to push up a little bit more support in Florida. What do I think is something that's hurting the Republicans in Florida? It's Ron DeSantis. Let's face it, Ron DeSantis is not popular in the state of Florida, and I think right now, not looking too good for the Republicans as, I think at this point, Ron DeSantis really hurts them. So, this graph that we're seeing now shows the projected popular vote. So, very interestingly, we're seeing here a couple different things. First of all, there's a lot of purple on this map compared to other maps. So the more purple there it is, the more toss-up the race becomes. In the last couple of races, there hasn't been too much purple in the maps or in the forecast that I've done, which again does not show good signs for both parties. That is a state that would come up to a crapshoot, where essentially it's going to be luck who wins. Here right now, Biden still does have the edge, but there is a quite substantial amount of purple, and if the polling averages fall in purple like this, means the chances of the race going to either candidate, I guess, are very high. So we're gonna see that. And we're seeing Howie Hawkins go up a little bit more in support, and Joe Jurgensen staying consistent. She stayed at 1%. She went up a little bit, but that's probably because we don't have that too many polls. So the JSK forecast here explains to us how they come up with a forecast. So they take in fundamentals, adjusted polling averages, state similarity, and experts rating. So we can see here that experts, they believe that Florida is going to go plus 0.8 for Biden, so they take that into account. State similarity, 3.8%, so they take that into account. Adjusted polling averages, which are 4.7%, they take that into account, and the fundamentals that take it into account, and all average out gives Biden an average victory of 4.6%. So what do I think about this? I think the 4.6% is a little bit inaccurate, because I honestly do not see the momentum needed for Biden to win by 4.6%, and honestly, the Biden campaign hasn't really been focusing on the state of Florida. They've done one rally virtually, which was a very big disaster with a lot of glitches and stuff like that. And I understand there is somewhat of an anti-Trump movement, but we must understand that also a lot of people are looking at Trump right now, and I've heard a lot in the comment section and things like that, that generally speaking, a lot of people have considered voting for Trump, and maybe some of them have flipped, because of how the Democrats are politicizing certain issues like COVID-19. I'm going to get into that in this video, but I would just say that just on excitement levels and how Donald Trump has a lot of momentum at this moment, I think that honestly, the state of Florida is going to definitely change. I see it going at most by 3.8%. I think the 4.6% margin, again, is a little bit exaggerated. However, it's still in the margin of error. I would say that the most likely scenario here would be a 2% victory for Biden as of right now. But things definitely can change, like I said. And as we get closer to Election Day, Biden could grow his lead, or Trump could shrink Biden's lead, or even win. So that's going to be something interesting to watch over the next couple of days and weeks, actually, after we get the big convention bumps, all these different things. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a huge thumbs up, like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to get notified when I post my next video. Hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye.